Hi everybody and welcome back to the Zenith Super Duty build. Now in episode number 47, we installed all of the brake lines from Aircraft Specialty on the inside of the airplane. Now those are the brake lines that go from the brake pedals to the parking brake, and then from the parking brake to two 90-degree fittings that go out the bottom of the airplane. So in today's episode, we're going to install the two brake lines on the bottom of the airplane that go from those 90-degree fittings out to the actual brake calipers. All right, if you're just joining us on the channel here, I have the brake line kit from Aircraft Specialty installed on the inside. You can see I have dual brakes here, so I have brakes on the pilot side and the passenger side. All of these brake lines come together here into a parking brake valve, and then they go from the parking brake valve down to these elbow fittings that go out the bottom side of the airplane. Now crawling under the airplane, you can see those elbow fittings here. We have two brake lines that come from those fittings. They go back behind the gear, and then from there they go out to each side of the airplane. Now as they go out to the side of the airplane, they follow the gear legs down, and of course they attach to the brake calipers. Now obviously we need to secure these lines to the bottom of the airplane, and I am guessing that duct tape is probably not the way to do this. One way you could do it is to put these Adele clamps on the lines, and you can see I have two of them here, one on each line. You drill one hole up through the bottom of the airplane, you put a bolt through there, and you are good to go. And then back here, as they split off into single brake lines, then obviously you just put one clamp on there, and you're done. So using those Adele clamps to secure the lines to the bottom of the airplane works perfect. There's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, it's probably the easiest, simplest way that you can do it. But I wanted to come up with something that just looked a little better. All right, so I was on a layover one night in a hotel and I started thinking about these brake lines. And I have a buddy who has a pretty well-equipped machine shop, and I asked him if he could make me some brackets. And what I designed in my head is a little bit different than what he sent me. And trust me, his are a lot better. But he told me to draw out what I wanted, so all I had with me was a napkin, and I drew out this picture here, which is just a block of aluminum split in half, and you can see there's two bolts on the bottom that would go up through the bottom of the airplane, and that would hold the brake lines. And I also sent him this picture, which is for the single brake line, and it works the same way. It's just a piece of aluminum split in half. There's one bolt that goes up through the bottom of the plane and holds the brake line. So those are the pictures that I sent him. A few days later, he re-engineered it, made it 10 times better, and this is what he came up with.
As you can see, his design is much nicer than mine. There's two different kinds here. One of them holds two brake lines and the other holds a single brake line. They're just a lot more elegant than the ones I drew.
And here are the finished product. Here's the one with the two holes for the two brake lines. As you can see, you just take the top off here, you put the brake lines in, you put the top on, and there's just one countersunk screw that holds the top on. And on the bottom, there's two holes here, and they will get screwed in from, so if this is upside down on the bottom of the airplane, the screws will come in from the top here on the inside of the plane, and the two screws hold that. So this just goes up flat against the bottom of the airplane like that, and then it holds the two brake lines. Very, very nice. And then of course we have the single ones right here. Just holds one single brake line. There's one screw here that holds it in the bottom of the airplane. And again, they work the same way. You put your brake line through there, you put the top on, you put your countersunk screw, and you're all set. So these are going to look awesome on the bottom of the airplane. They're absolutely gorgeous. I was thinking about painting them, but they're so nice as they are, I may just leave them polished aluminum. We'll see. Well, my next step is to get these installed, and then I'll show you what they look like.
And here they are. They are installed on the bottom of the airplane now. These are the two that I have that hold both of the brake lines. And then we have the single ones out here on the back. There's 4 of those total. That's what they look like. You can just see it holds one brake line. And on the outside here, I have an Adele clamp holding the line to the landing gear attachment bracket.
Now the only thing I have to do yet is attach the brake line to the back of the landing gear. You can see it just follows the gear down here then attaches into the caliper. So I'll probably wind up doing something similar to what I did with the Cruiser, where I used a aluminum tube on the back of the gear. This is curved, so I'll either have to curve the tube or do something a little bit different, but I'll probably wind up doing something fairly similar to what I did with the Cruiser. All right, that is the complete installation now. I have all the hoses on the inside of the airplane done. The hoses on the bottom are done, and that's the complete installation of the brake line kit for the Super Duty from Aircraft Specialty. So I will put a link to the Aircraft Specialty website below in the description box. If you want to buy this kit from them, it's available. I know they do have brake line kits for other airplanes. All the fuel lines on this airplane are from Aircraft Specialty too. They did the instrument panel cutout, so they offer a lot of services. And I really like their products. I also have their little flap switch too, which is pretty cool. So check them out. Steve's the guy you're going to contact if you have any questions. He'll answer any of your questions. He's a great guy. So that's it for me. With the brake lines done, I think I'm ready to move on to the instrument panel.